Hi Tanvee, thank you so much for being here on a Sunday morning. How are
Hi,
you?
Kalyani. I'm great and I'm very much excited for this conversation to start.
So, how was your first week of the new year?
It was hectic. My dental clinic suddenly had a burst of patients and I had to do them.
Oh.
And plus, I had all this writing stuff also. So it was a bit hectic to manage, but then it was great also.
So, you're basically a full time dentist and you also write a lot and you also have a consulting business and you're also an author. So, how you being this real life Spider Man and managing so many lives together? What's your
Uh,
secret?
Secret, I don't know if there's any secret, but I think most of it comes from the fact that I really love writing and I really love teaching also. So I never thought in my, like, whenever there was a time I had to decide about my mainstream career, I never thought I would be a teacher because I'm a very shy person. I'm a very socially awkward person. I cannot confidently teach in a room of 50 people. But I love teaching, like in one on one, or if there are two or three people, I love telling my ideas. I love telling, what I think about a particular problem or whatever, a solution. I love helping people to solve their problems, and I think I love writing also. So that's where, so it became a step by step thing. I didn't plan it out at all. So, and it's all started in 2020 in lockdown. If not for the lockdown, I wouldn't have been a writer today. So it's all because situations became like this that I had to think out of the box. I had to explore things which are way different from my main career path, which is dentistry. And it all, and since after that, like after starting my writing journey, it was all like, okay, consulting is a thing here, let's try it out once. Or you know trying doing a newsletter, it's also a thing here, let's try it out. So it was all a trial and error, and I continued doing things that I really enjoyed. So yeah, it's not a Spider-Man thing, it's just trial and error, some things I wanted to explore. That's it. About time management, you said that uh, it's all
So,
about,
can you just tell us what your daily routine looks like in the first place?
okay, my daily routine is like, I don't wake up at 5 a.m. I am not an early riser because I sleep after 12 most of the time. So it's not possible for me to wake up at 5 a.m. So I wake up around 7:30, have my business, commute to my dental clinic and sit there. Now, my dental clinic isn't just 4 months old, like it's not uh, very older. So there are not many patients every day I do. So I get a lot of free time for my writing right now.
Okay.
So I make sure I use every minute of it for my writing or for other stuff I want to do with my dentistry. So right now it's like that. Before that, I had a job. I used to work under a dental surgeon, and it was not like this. I had to work like one patient after the other. I had no time at my job to write. So I used to come home at 5 or 6 p.m. in the evening, and then I would have 1 hour of, like, here and there snacks or tea time with my family, and then I would start writing. So it's all about routines. My routines are kept changing because before I was doing a job. Now I have my own dental clinic, so I can dictate my own time. If I have a lot of writing in one day, I don't schedule a patient appointment on that day.
Okay.
I am able to do that because it's my own clinic. So it's different when you have a job, and it's different when you have your own venture. So that's one thing. Second thing is, yes, I cannot avoid doing patience altogether on some days, even if I have a lot to write. So on those days, I make up for that writing in night, like after coming home up from my clinic, I sit and write. There's no excuse to that. Uh, it's just that when you really want to do something, uh, it automatically comes within you. Like, I'm such a lazy person. My people around me keep telling me you're a lazy person. My mom keep telling me you are a lazy person. But no, like people just are surprised to know that I am a dentist and also and I'm a writer also, how I'm doing all these things. It's not a like it's not a surprising thing because I love both.
Mm.
I can do it without complaints. So whenever I talk to people who are like looking for a side hustle or planning to quit their job just to pursue writing full time or something like that, I always tell them to, really think about it. Like, do you really want to do that full time?
Mm.
Quitting your job and writing full time is a very like a dream. It's a very attractive dream, right? You can sit at home and work and write and get paid. Like it's a very attractive dream. You don't have to commute to other places every day. You don't have to worry about, reaching your office at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You
Mm.
can be your own boss. It's a very attractive dream, yes, but can you do that really like for lifetime? Are you uh, in a position that you can quit your job and you can do with a bit less of money in your initial years? Are you in that position financially? So all these things matter. So I think it comes ultimately about your priorities, about the clarity you have about what you
Mm.
do with your career.
Right. So let me take you back to a few years ago. So when was the time when you realized that writing is one of the skills that you actually have? When did you discover that you are a writer, you have that talent and you can use it for making some impact? And was it just a creative thing or and like because LinkedIn is totally different platform, like where you write mostly.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you about that, but first let me just tell that how did you discover the writer in yourself?
So when in school, uh, I was the most unnoticed child, if you can say so.
Oh.
Yeah, I was very shy. I had like two or three friends only. That's it. Uh, I was like very shy, like the Nana of YJHD, if you know her.
Oh.
That's my typical definition. So I was that girl. Uh, and when I used to like I was very sad also because I there were times I used to feel lonely and all, and where for loners writing is a thing. It becomes
Hmm.
like a journaling and all. So I started journaling, not every day, but whenever I'm feeling low or something, I used to write down my thoughts. Right. Then there was a poetry competition in my school,
Hmm.
and one of my friends and myself, we both wrote a story and we both got selected for the next level of that competition. It was a district level competition, and my poem was in my regional language, Marathi.
Marathi. Hmm.
So, uh, so I actually started my writing in Marathi. Yes, I used to write essays for exams and all, but that was not considered as like a creative writing or something. It was just a thing I had to do because I wanted to score, right?
So
But
you studied in Marathi or English? Like what was
English,
your medium
English.
of instruction?
My medium of instruction was English, but
Okay.
uh, other than that, I only wrote in Marathi. Like for myself, I didn't write in English much
Okay.
in the initial years. So that poem got like good recognition, and people were astounded to see like, wow, Tanvi got selected in this competition because I was never an extracurricular person. I never entered any competitions outside school or on district levels and won it. No, I didn't do that. I was only in academics. I did well there, and people knew that Tanvi is only good in academics. That's it. This was the first time I did something other than studies, and which I got appreciated for. And that's how I started writing poems initially in
Hmm.
Marathi. I tried in Hindi also. When the Pulwama attack happened, I wrote a Hindi poem about Kashmir, and that's my favorite poem I wrote till date. Uh, and yeah, so I tried in all three languages. It was in 2020, so I knew I had a thing for writing. I love writing. I also tried writing short stories and all, but I didn't know I could actually monetize this skill. I
Hmm.
didn't know there was something called digital writing or content writing. I didn't know this at all. And thanks to 2020, it happened. And then there was no going back, I did.
Yeah. I think the pandemic was a turning point for many people, you know.
Yeah.
Like it changed our perspective actually at a fundamental level sometimes. So, you spoke about digital writing and content writing. So, if you were to explain it to, say, a 4-year-old kid, what it means, so how would you describe that?
Whenever you see a product online, the ad, or when you search something on Google, like how to do XYZ, whatever blogs come in front of you, that is all content writing. Whatever things it shows, the entire list on Google, the blogs, the
Hmm.
brochures, or any company, uh, any person, even if it's a solopreneur, they also write blogs and publish it on Google. And those solopreneur also needs writers who can write those blogs well, like with good research and all. So whatever you see on that Google page, uh, that's all content writing.
Okay.
So there is a lot of demand. Even today there are so many content writers online, if you see on LinkedIn. But
Yes.
even today there is still a lot of demand for content writers, and it's going to grow only. Content and copywriters, because
Hmm.
the more businesses come online, come digital, the more they are going to need someone to write about it on their websites, on their blogs, on their social media profiles, right? So the need is going to grow only. So uh, there is no dying of this field in near future. It's only going to grow.
Hmm. So, for example, if I'm a business owner, okay, and I'm hiring a person to be a content writer, so generally, what do you think is a good content for me? Is there a definition that if a particular piece has all these particular qualities, then it is a really effective content? Or is it just like a very creative thing? You know, like I give the total liberty to the writer and they try to explore themes, or is it like these three things have to be there? So, what's your opinion on that?
A good content is mainly about, it depends all most of it depends upon the product you are
Hmm.
writing the content about. So if it's your brand you're writing your content about, the services your business provides, then it's going to need a lot of research.
Hmm.
A good content is what tells readers that how their solutions are going to help them. They don't care about your posh infrastructure or the way you created your products. No, they only care about how their product is going to help them, right? So if I'm talking about, say, an app, a dating app maybe,
Hmm.
and you have some special feature in that app, so it's they don't care what special feature you are describing. They only care about how that special feature is going to help them find their partner in an easy way, in a way uh, where other dating apps are failing. your differentiation point should be very clear about it. Plus, so it's more about the benefits than the features. Talk more about the benefits people going to have rather than the features of your product. So instead of being me, my product, my business,
Hmm.
talk about people, what they want, problems they are facing, and how your product solve those problems. So a good content is what tells people, uh, is what makes people feel that it's all about them. It's not about your own product. It's all about the reader. It's all about your customer. So that's what gets maximum attention,
Hmm.
and that's what is going to prompt your reader to take an action, to buy a product, or anything like to download the app or something like that. So a good copy, it's technically a copywriting because you're selling your product through your writing. So a good copy is what tells people how their product is going to help them rather than how good your product.
Right. Last week I was listening to a podcast and Suhail Seth was talking about how you sell a brand or something. He's a brand consultant, a very successful person. So he mentioned a very thoughtful thing that you don't buy a brand or you don't buy a product. You basically buy the benefits. I think that's what he also emphasized on.
Exactly.
That's a great point. So LinkedIn as a platform has seen immense growth in our country, especially in last 5 years. Just going through data, and in as of January 2022, like 1 year ago, we had 8.49 lakh people in India who were using LinkedIn, and of which 57% were between age of 25 to 34. So, and I'm sure in last year it has increased more than that.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to talk about the power of LinkedIn as a platform? Because we have other social platforms as well, like Instagram is growing so well. YouTube is also one platform where you can actually reach a lot of customers, potential clients. So, what is it that is unique about LinkedIn? And what is it that attracted you towards LinkedIn? Because you have your main follower base in LinkedIn, right? So,
uh, as a platform, you know other than all the facts, all the numbers, all the stats you just said about it, I still feel LinkedIn is very much underused by creators. It still has a lot of potential to build your audience. It's just become a bit tough because now there are many creators, and when I started, there were not many creators creating content, and so it's all about your personality now. When I started, it was all about how to do XYZ, how to do ABCD. It was all about like a professional text-based platform where people used to talk about layoffs, companies, hiring managers, uh, like all those IPOs and some those type kind of topics related to career only. But now there are people who are talking about mental health, they're talking about productivity, they're talking about their own personal experiences, they're posting pictures. There are also some people saying that LinkedIn has become like an Instagram, everyone is posting pictures. But I think it's a very good, evolution of the platform because it tells you, like, it connects you with the reader more instead of just reading about some professional topic. uh, it's fun to get connected with the personality of that writer. You get like it you get connected with the person himself. Like, you get to know thought how his thought process is, how he works, his routine, or his productivity hacks, or his thoughts about some some LinkedIn feature or something about it. Why they use videos? Why don't they use videos? So it's all about connecting to a person, and when you connect to a person on certain level, uh, it becomes easy to relate to their thoughts and to relate to whatever they are writing about. and it's easy to gain an audience base from that perspective. Uh, so I think it's a very good evolution LinkedIn is coming with. So I don't bother it. I post my pictures. I talk more about mental health, productivity, and my own personal experiences on LinkedIn today. Uh, so it's all about instead of like feeling that you're reading something uh, totally bland, like it feels bland, right? When you are all you're talking about is about career, work, offices, work culture, HR managers, and all of that. When you're talking all about this only, how is your reader going to connect with you personally, right? And I think that's what LinkedIn is promoting now. It's promoting videos more. It's promoting uh, descriptive posts with pictures more than the text post. So yeah, so that's what it's becoming into, like a professional platform with a personal touch, and I'm loving that, frankly. Uh, yeah,
So you started in 2020, right?
yeah,
So can you talk about your journey as a LinkedIn writer or a content writer? How did it start? Like, you are a doctor at the end of the day. So did you start writing about medical stuff, or how your life as a dentist was, or you were writing about other themes also?
yeah.
So,
So when I started writing on LinkedIn, I didn't open my LinkedIn profile with an intention to be a writer. Uh,
oh,
yeah, so uh, when the lockdown was declared, I had no job. My workplace was shut down for like infinite period for 7 to 8 months, and it was difficult for dentists because all of all the people in the world, dentists were the community which were more affected by COVID-19 than anyone
right,
else, which were more at risk with this disease. So all the dental clinics were shut down for infinite period, and one of them was my workplace. And so I had to do something like for income, right? I was
hmm,
desperate because it was all good for few days, for 10, 15 days, that okay, I don't have to go to work today, and all I can do is chill at home. But uh, after few days it feels like, no, I have to do something. I can, like, how it was so uncertain. I didn't know when would I be resuming my job, right? So I actually opened my LinkedIn profile to search for non-clinical jobs for dentists, like some work from home jobs as a transcriber or as a third party associate for working for them. You can be a transcriber as a dentist. So
okay,
I was looking for those kind of jobs on LinkedIn, and that's when I stumbled upon a person who was a content writer, and she was doing very well. And I was like, okay, writing. And it was like, okay, I can write. I was already writing poems and short stories. So
hmm,
it was kind of like, okay, writing is my by haath ka khel. I can do it easily. So let's try this. So I started writing on LinkedIn. I didn't write about any medical stuff. I just wrote my experiences or some creative things.
hmm,
Uh, you know, imaginary dialogue between pen, paper,
oh, wow,
mobile and laptop. I also, yeah, I have that piece posted on LinkedIn. I tried some crazy creative stuff also, and I got good response from that also. But after a point, I felt like, okay, people are enjoying my content, but this content is not getting me clients. No one is approaching me. I had to think more seriously about income now. So I started learning the nitty gritty of digital writing,
hmm,
and that's when I realized that okay, I when I write a poem on a notebook and when I show it to some reader, the reader takes that notebook with an intention of reading the entire poem. But when I'm writing writing a post on LinkedIn or on any social media platform or even a blog,
Hmm.
not necessarily every reader is opening that blog with an intention of reading the entire thing. Not every not every LinkedIn user is going to read the entire my LinkedIn post, right? Only thing they are going to see while scrolling is the first two three lines of my LinkedIn post, and on basis of that they are going to decide whether they want to read further or not.
Yeah.
So the attention span of an online reader is very much smaller than an offline reader. When we sit to read a book, we sit with an intention to read at
Hmm.
least 10 pages, 15 pages, whatever. We have that intention already. So we don't need that incentive. Okay, so these two lines are great, then I will read further. We don't need that while reading offline. But we need that while reading online because we have all so much to see. We are scrolling so much, we are scrolling Instagram, we are scrolling LinkedIn, and we the writers have a very small space, those two, three first lines, to grab that attention of the reader, right? To make that reader stop scrolling and read my post. So the main difference is this, the attention span of your reader. And for that, I need to start my post with a bang because those first two, three lines is going to decide the future of my post and my clients as well.
Right.
So I learned that. For example, I told you one of the examples. There are many differences with writing online and offline.
Hmm.
Uh, but the biggest difference is getting the attention. Uh, Writing online is a game of attention. The more you write well, the more you whatever like if even if you're a good creative writer, but if you can't demand, if you can't grab the attention of your audience, there's no use. You're writing in a void. No one is going to read your thing, right?
Hmm.
So there are some tactics like, you know, writing a great hook, the first two three lines, so that the reader is compelled to read the entire post. You know, you just spark his curiosity with your two three lines, and yeah, so
So can
that's
you give an example of a hook? Like, what do you exactly mean by that?
okay. So I'll give you. I just wrote a yesterday. I wrote a newsletter that went out today morning.
Okay.
So now there are, even in emails also, when you open your
Hmm.
Gmail, you are subscribed to a lot of emails, and from that, not necessarily everyone reads each of those emails, right? As a creator, I have subscribed to many other newsletters as well, which are about writing, you know.
Yes.
So, and I know from the experience that I don't open all of them. I read the headline first,
Yeah.
right? So, my today's issue was about leaving the comfort zones. You
Hmm.
know, so I am very nervous about facing the camera, and I recently posted a video on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very
so
effective, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was my message, that to this year 2023 is going to be all about leaving the comfort zone. And a comfort zone, so I imagined a comfort zone to be a Bermuda Triangle because we get lost in comfort zone. So my headline was not about leaving the comfort zone. If my
Hmm.
email headline was leaving the comfort zone, I don't think no anybody will read it, or a very few people will read it. My headline was a Bermuda Triangle of creators. Now that sparks the curiosity. Okay, what she's talking about. And
Hmm.
the subheading was, this one is not in Atlantic Ocean. Now that sparks the curiosity more. It just steers your head like what she is talking about exactly, and that prompts the reader to open that email. So this is just one example. Last week also, I was actually writing my email to promote my freebie, my free digital product I created. So,
Yes.
but before that, I also wanted to give a story to the reader because stories are what uh, readers remember,
Right.
readers easily relate to. So this was when I started freelancing. I thought freelancing is the only way I could earn as a writer, uh, but that's not the case.
Hmm.
So I was doing freelancing with this one notion that okay, this is the only way I can earn through writing. And I was doing freelancing for like months without knowing that there are other options where I can earn as well.
For example, like what are the options he's talking about?
There are consultations, there are platforms where you are getting paid to write blogs on
Hmm.
their platforms, right? So, and there are digital product creation, right? Yes, these are long term things, like you cannot get instantly paid after writing one blog on a platform, but yes, these are very sustainable options if you want your writing career to be a long term thing. Freelancing can be your start, but you don't have to get stuck in that if you don't enjoy it. You can try out these options as well, blogging and ebook creation, or
Mm-hmm.
other digital products. So
Okay.
uh, that was what my message was in that email. So I didn't write about my heading was not like other options to earn as a writer. That would become very bland. I want people to open that email because I was promoting my freebie.
Hmm.
So my heading was, how was I deceived as a newbie writer?
Okay.
So I wasn't deceived by some person, like,
Hmm.
no, but I gave it a dramatic touch just to instigate people to open that email, like just to create that curiosity that okay, what she's talking about. And
Hmm.
then I started that okay, no person deceived me, no creator deceived me, it was my doing. I thought that freelancing was the only way to get paid. And that email got like my highest open rate till now since I started my newsletter. It was some 40% or something. I
Okay.
started in August only, so it was not much long ago. It's not a very old newsletter, but it got my highest open rate till now. And I'm hoping for the same for today's newsletter as well. Let's see. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying, that your headlines, your hooks, your first two lines on LinkedIn posts, your tweets. Tweets are the best way to, grab attention because it's a very short thing.
Hmm.
So, I mean, those things should be like top notch if you want the attention of the reader.
So, like, this is a purely new skill that you acquired on your own, right? So, there's not a school where you can
Yeah.
go and actually learn content creation. Of course, you can go for online courses and everything else, but I think you're self-taught. So, how did you acquire these skills and how you're making them finer day by day? How you're self-improving?
So I acquired these skills like I read a lot, online, offline. I read a lot. Uh, and since I started writing online, it was more about, okay, how other people are doing it, right? And I couldn't afford to take paid courses back then because all my savings were going to be in this dental clinic in my other profession. So I was a bit skeptical about investing my money in learning writing, so because I had other priorities. So at that time, I had no option but to learn from the best. So uh, there are some creators I follow very closely, be it like LinkedIn posts or tweeting or writing emails or writing blogs. Uh, there are some creators who have mastered that art. So I see how they, for example, there is a creator called Niharika Kaur Sodhi. I follow her very closely. So for that creator, I just tried to know her journey from scratch, like every detail about her, how she had gone from having a 9 to 5 corporate job to side hustling to becoming a full time writer at the age of 25. I have read her journey a lot over and over again through her blogs, through her emails, through her free products, through her tweets and LinkedIn posts. I follow her everywhere. So the more you connect with a creator who has a similar journey like you want to have, or you are at a stage where I'm also side hustling, so her journey could relate. I could relate easily to her journey, right? So find, like, there are so many creators online, but you don't have to follow all of them because it will become an overwhelm of knowledge, and it's not at all helpful. If you are looking to improve your skill, you need to just find 2 to 3 creators who you genuinely like, their writing style, they inspire you, and they you look up to them, like for every little thing you look up to them. Find those 2 3 creators and follow their journey very closely. If you can, purchase their paid products, their paid memberships, and follow through them also, because stuff is paid for a reason, right? Because that knowledge, whatever you get in a paid stuff, is not available in any other free stuff. So paid products are paid for a reason. So if you can afford, do that as well. Because observation is a great teacher. Like, you can learn a lot from observing a creator, how he has scaled his writing business, or how he has designed her or his life through writing, or for example, how he is writing a blog, or how he is writing a LinkedIn post, and what type of his LinkedIn posts are getting good engagement and what are not, right? So observe. But other thing is also this, that too much observation and no action would lead you nowhere, right? So ultimately, practice is also a thing. So I used to write like, I used to post daily on LinkedIn, be it 0 likes, 5 likes, 10 likes, I don't care. I used to post daily on LinkedIn. I used to write for myself also. Like, for example, I would take a prompt, uh, that, what are my writing goals next year, and I would write that anything that comes to my mind in my journal. And with that, I would think that, okay, if I want to post this piece online, what changes I would make, right? So, for example, if I've written in a journal that my goals for writing in 2023, uh, my headline would not be that. If I'm going to post that piece online, my headline would be something dramatic, something spicy, something like, you know, tweaking, something, very curiosity creator. Like, the headline should be like, wow, the headline is cool. I want to open this piece, right? So my headline would be something more dramatic. Uh, my first 2 3 lines would be like, uh, you know, like I am talking to you, not like I'm writing. Just like I'm talking to you, I will write those 2 3 first lines like that. When I am writing in journal, I necessarily don't use storytelling, but when I'm posting online, I'll be using a lot of storytelling, because storytelling is what uh, easily connects you with your reader, right? So your experiences, whatever, or even if it's not your experiences, something you read about it, create a story about it, problem. Now, steer that problem so that the reader would feel, okay, I know the problem, where's the solution, and then get to the solution through a story. That's what helps the reader to get involved in your piece, right? So I would be using a lot of storytelling, good headlines, good subheadings, uh, good hooks, first 2 3 lines, So yeah, these are some things I worked on uh, one by one. Like I used to write a piece for myself in my journal, in my notebook, and then I would tweak some things I would do if I was going to post that piece online. So that's a very good exercise because it's no judging. There's no one going to see it. It's all for you, right? So that really helped me. Yeah.
But so this is what you're doing in the initial phase, but now that you have hacked everything, like what is going to work, you know, so what does growth look like on LinkedIn or any social platform? Because most of the times when you discover a creator online, they already have a substantial follower base, you know, that's why they are being promoted by the algorithm. So actually, what does growth look like in real life? The perception different from reality, and how long does it actually take? So can you tell us from your experience or from the observation that you've done of other creators' journey?
So there have been many creators online who have done it in
Yes.
half the time that I have done it. I took 2.5 years to reach this much followers, but there are people who have so many more, like 2 or 3 times more followers, and they have achieved that in just 1 year or 1.5 year. Uh, so perception, yes, is very different from reality because today when I see those followers, yes, there are times I feel like, okay, I have not been that much consistent on LinkedIn lately because I had my own dental clinic, and when I was opening that clinic, I was more focused on that part rather than writing online. So I was not being consistent. So that those 4 5 months hampered my growth a lot. So when I see those creators doing extremely well, posting daily for 1.5 years without a gap of one day, I feel okay. I feel a bit of sadness that I may have this kind of reach today if not for those 4 5 months, 4 5 months, right? But honestly, I don't need to feel that way because considering my situation, considering my journey as a side hustler and a dentist, it's not even a 9 to 5 job. It's my own venture only, dentistry also. So I had to look after that for 24/7. It's not like, okay, I came home at 9 o'clock and now I can focus fully on writing. No. Even if something happens in a clinic, in my clinic, I had to focus there even after 9 p.m. So it's more difficult, even if it's my venture, it's difficult to manage both because both things are my own doing. There's no one sitting above me who can control those things, right? So I know my journey best. I know my journey well. So I cannot compare it to someone other because I don't know his journey. I can just judge his journey from his follower count, which is not a good way to judge his journey because there are people with 100K followers uh, and not getting so many likes on their posts, not uh, not that much effective in my opinion. And there are people with 50K followers on LinkedIn which are doing very well, which are earning very well. So, yes, follow count is necessary if you want your writing to reach great masses, but it's not the only thing you want to judge your writing career or someone else's writing career. There are many other things involved. Everyone's journey is different, and everyone's priorities are also different. So in those 4 to 5 months, my priority was not my follower count on LinkedIn. My priority was my dental clinic. Even today, my priority is writing. Be consistent with newsletters, my blogs, whatever I'm doing, my client work. It's my priority. It's not like, okay, I want 50K followers on LinkedIn till next month. That's not my priority. Because when I know that when I would be consistent more, when I would reach masses, uh, automatically my follow count is going to
Hmm.
increase. So it's all about consistency again.
But you know, when you are like established, you also have that engagement, right? So there is a feedback that comes on a real time basis. So
Yeah,
I think that would be easier to be consistent. But when you are just basically alone
yeah.
writing, you barely have like you have like hundreds of 100 followers, for example. You have like 25 people say liking it, you have 3 comments. So in that phase, how do you tell yourself to be consistent? Because you can't see the results that are happening because it's all behind the scene actually. But how do you stay consistent and motivated during that initial phase?
So this is the one part when uh, which I tell to my whoever talks to me about writing journey, starting a side hustle. I tell them this explicitly that don't expect results in at least 1 to 2 months before starting. Like uh, in whenever I had a consultation call once, and the person said that okay, I'm consistently posting on LinkedIn for 1 month and I'm not getting any results. What should I do? And I was like, 1 month is not enough. 1 month is like 1 day on LinkedIn because there is so much of competition on every social media platform today. You cannot expect results in just a month, right? Yes, there are people who have gotten those results in a month, but those were exceptional situations. For example, a creator posted his first LinkedIn post about meeting the LinkedIn CEO. Now, obviously, something like that is going to get viral, but everybody is everybody is not going to experience such things, right? So let's be realistic and let's think about it that yes, writing online is a very exciting thing. It's a very good career option for you, but it has to take a lot of patience for it. And uh, I genuinely feel, now this may feel cliche, but I genuinely feel the motivation comes from
Motivation comes from the love of writing. Okay.
because I mean, yeah, it may find cliche, but it's the truth that I have experienced. I was not getting many likes for like 3 4 months.
Hmm.
I was just getting 15 20 likes, and I was okay with that at that point of time because I was a new writer, and
Hmm.
I was mainly because I was enjoying putting out my writings. I was enjoying the fact that okay, I can write such things on LinkedIn and people are appreciating. Even if those are 5 people or 10 people, I don't care, but people are appreciating. So when you really have that kind of uh, passion for your craft, anything, not only writing, for anything, you don't care about how many hours you have to put it doing that, even when you are not getting results. Yes, it's not like all rainbows and roses. There were times where I felt that okay, now it's okay. Now it's great that I'm writing well on LinkedIn. Many people are saying my writing is good, but what about clients? I'm not getting any clients. That's yes, that point comes after a while,
Yeah.
but uh, the more you read about people doing that, people gone through that journey. Like I have, there were many times I was feeling low because I didn't I was not like I was getting lost. I was like, okay, I'm writing on daily on LinkedIn, but what about my income? How I'm going to earn if this is the speed I'm going with? But then just cut to the next moment, I read someone writing on LinkedIn that okay, I struggled for these things, I struggled for that things, and those struggles were much bigger than what I was feeling at that point. So my suggestion to people was to get in this field with the mindset of having patience, a lot of patience,
Hmm.
and with a genuine commitment to the process rather than just doing it for the results,
Right.
right? So when you are like, okay, this is the process, I have to write daily, I have to improve my writing online, I have to work on it daily. And when you're genuinely committing to that process, uh, these times are not. like the low times does not come as often as they would come otherwise. If you're just doing it for results, then it's going to be a lot of stress, a lot of failures, and a lot of hopelessness you will feel when you don't get results. But I think when you are immersed in the process, you are so much involved in the process, you're enjoying it, that's when things really start to unravel. That's
Hmm.
when you yourself would find your new potentials. Like, wow, I can write this also. There were times I was like, okay, I can write this also. I didn't know this. So it all comes from when you commit to the process.
Hmm.
And the other thing is, one more thing I wanted to tell you was it's all about the process only. And it's not like everyone is successful in just 1 day or 2 days. Every successful person has gone through failures, right? So
Yes.
I this process part is the key to this motivation thing, because every time you cannot depend on some other creator motivating you through this process. It should come within you. It should come from within you. Like, okay, I want to write today. No matter what the results are, I have to write today.
Hmm.
So it comes from the habits.
Yeah.
So it also comes from the mental health, right? Because when you're so focused on getting 300, 400, 500 likes, you're so focused on getting 15 leads a month from the start, then it becomes uh, a mental health situation. Like,
Hmm.
you're constantly running behind the things which are not materializing, and that affects your mental health a lot.
Hmm.
So my suggestion would be, from the start, from day one, uh, try to instead of try pursuing these things like likes and clients, try to pursue a routine for yourself which serves best for you.
Right.
For example, best writing time.
Hmm.
You know, at what time in the day you are very much energized and your mind is running with great ideas and you can write well. A best time for editing. Best time for having rest. Some people uh, are great writers in the afternoon, and some people like having a nap in the afternoon. There's no right and wrong here. You just have to figure out a routine where you safeguard your mental health also, and you can be as productive and as creative in your writing journey as well.
Hmm.
So that helps when this motivation part comes.
Yes.
Because if you're writing you're not giving any attention to your mental health and just going behind likes and comments and clients and money, it's going to get you bogged down at one point, right? Because that's not the way to have a creative journey in the long run. For 1 or 2 months, you can do that, but after that, what?
Hmm.
It's not, you don't deserve that. Like, your mind needs to be rested because writing is a mind game,
Right.
right? Take care of your mind a lot, because I have experienced burnout a lot of times when I was doing a dental
Hmm.
job and pursuing writing. So I can say from my experience that from day one, start building those small habits, right? Which will take you start, which will take you to build a routine which is suitable for you, not because someone else is saying it, not because someone else is doing it, in some other way.
Hmm. I think, yeah, habits, like building habits and maintaining them is a game
Yeah.
changer for any profession. Like, if you are good at habit
Uh,
creating habits,
Kalyani,
you're gonna be very
can I
successful.
connect my charger to the laptop?
Yeah, sure.
Because the battery is low.
Yeah. So Tanvi, I think the first video that you posted in 2023, spoke a lot about stepping out of comfort zones and showing up your vulnerabilities to the world. I think it's a great thing. Definitely, people connect with you more if you are more transparent, if you are talking about your failures, or you're talking in general about your vulnerabilities. But you know, it exposes you maybe to other things also. You can get attacked, right? And if someone is like very shy person or very introverted, don't want a lot of opinions from others, it can become difficult for them. So how do you like look at it as like vulnerability? How vulnerable should you be, or how seriously should you get take the personal comments or feedback? I don't think if LinkedIn exposes you to that much trolling that is on Twitter or other
Yeah,
platforms, but still you are vulnerable. You can
yeah.
get exposed to attacks. So how do you look at that?
So I was the exact person. I still am the exact person as you said, introvert, shy. I
Yeah.
don't like exposing much of my thoughts and what I think about things, my opinions. But then when it comes to online, uh, you know, it's not necessary that if you're getting 15 likes, the only 15 people are seeing your video. No,
Hmm.
you don't have any idea how many people are seeing your thing. They may not like the video, they may not comment on your video, they may not engage in any way with your profile, but they are seeing your video. And when you think about that, I was like, okay, if that kind of reach I want, like, I want people to see my video. If people are seeing my video, I may as well help them from my experience, right? So when you have this mindset that maybe someone out there who is not
Hmm.
even engaging with my video just because he's introvert and shy and doesn't want to relate, doesn't want to show the world that he relates with my experience, even if that's the case, even if that person is seeing my video, and even if I can help that person by describing my experiences, then why not? I would love to help that person, right? And social media is such a dangerous thing. Like, even if it has a lot of opportunities, it's a ocean of opportunities, but at the same time, it's a dark ocean. Like, it is very dangerous. So, with people using more and more people using social media for their career and for their personal use, they need all the help they can get to use that, right? So why not? It's like
Yes.
not it's not like I'm being a social helper or something like that. But if I am a creator, I have a social responsibility that I promote the right things which are helpful to my readers. And if I
Yes.
can do that through my experience, then why not? Right? When it comes to boundaries, like
Hmm.
how much vulnerable you want to be, it's totally your call. There are
Okay.
creators who don't still don't share their personal stories. They only share about how to write, how to the concepts of content writing. They only teach content writing concepts on LinkedIn. There are creators like that, and they're doing well. They're getting clients, that they're getting decent engagement on their posts, and that's okay, that's fine, that's your call. But if you want to be vulnerable to some point, then just decide your boundaries
Hmm.
before doing that, right?
Okay.
So for example, I would not say something about uh, my family or my
Hmm.
marriage, or, you know that's my boundary. I don't
Right.
want that boundary. I don't want to cross that boundary, because trolling, okay, I can handle trolling, but if someone is trolling my family or something, that I may not like that, right?
Right.
So that's my boundary. So thing is, you have to find a middle ground where
Hmm.
you want to help people, yes, but you don't want to uh, hamper that social media image uh, with uh, you don't want to hamper your family with your social media image, right? So it's all about that, finding that sweet spot where yes, you can be a bit vulnerable when it comes to your career, your work thing, but keeping your personal life as much as personal, uh, for your sake, for your family's sake. Now, the creator I talked to you about, Niharika,
Niharika.
yeah, she's way more talking about her personal life. Like, she has even shared her wedding pictures on Medium
Okay.
as well. But she also has designed some boundaries. Like, she has not shared a picture with her husband, or she has not shared with any picture with her family. So there are some boundaries every creator creates, and it's every creator's choice how to, you know, use their own life experiences to help their readers, to help their audience. So I would suggest that if you're not comfortable being vulnerable, don't be. it's
Okay.
not it's not a rule to be vulnerable, and that's the only way to get good engagement, and that's the only way to uh, you know relate to your audience. No, you can be talking about all about your career things, about writing things, and that's all. You can still create a good kind of audience with that thing. But now uh, with evolving algorithms, like, be it any social media platform with evolving algorithms, you need to have to tweak some priorities, maybe. Now, I was not comfortable posting my own pictures on Instagram, but now I have posted more pictures on LinkedIn than I post on Instagram. So I have changed my priorities a bit, because that's what is helping me get more engagement and clients.
Yeah. Tanvi, I just want to thank you. You've shared so much, and I think this podcast is going to help a lot of young creators and at least the people who are waiting to get started because they didn't have the basics. And I think you're given so much information in such a effective time frame. Yeah, guys, and we'll obviously put everything in the description. So make sure you check the links and make sure you subscribe to her newsletter because it's really interesting. And also her book, the ebook that she just wrote. Yeah, that's great too. All right. Thank you, Tanvi.